AI seriously feels like it shifted into another gear this week. We've got Magi, my favorite all-in-one AI tool, now connecting to over 130 apps. You heard me right. YouTube is rolling out a new AI label. Meta is jumping into paid subscriptions that will include AI plans. And I saw a really cool use case of Notebook LM that summarized last week's Google I/O event. Is really cool. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed trying to keep up with all of this stuff in the AI world, you're not alone. This is exactly why I do this show, to cut through the noise and focus on AI tools and shortcuts that are actually useful to us in the real world. So we're going to jump in and I'm going to show you some really cool demos of the things I've been playing around with. And yeah, let's bring up our guest panelists that are here today with us. And I see Maria just made it into. Hi, everybody. How are y'all today?
Good. Good to see everyone.
Hi.
Maria, good to see you. And Barb, I love how you've got your avatar bigger on the screen today. This is so cool.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure whether because there's writing on there and I've messed with StreamYard, I'm not sure you can read it right anymore for the audience because it flipped it.
I think
Oh, it
it's
looks
a
fine
great
to us.
photo. It's great.
Yeah,
Actually, you look like an astronaut.
Yeah, I love
Actually,
it.
that's the CIA shirt. You have to. We're friends on Facebook. That's the one I inherited from the fella.
Amazing.
I love it.
From Pops. I refer to him as Pops, and I guess that's a good thing because there was news breaking on another CIA professional getting nailed for having gold bars.
Yeah, I saw something in the news.
It's like, that. Oh my gosh, I better just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Well, I love how you were able to have your avatar photo be so big on the screen, because normally in StreamYard it's so small and you're just a little circle. Like Maria's is just a small circle, but I like how you were able to do some techie thing to do that.
Well, and Madalyn, can I just say, all four of us on this screen right now are different from each other. And that's part of the benefit of being on this show with you, the experimentation, right, with the AI, but also I haven't been around the last couple of weeks, but on Skool, I love going to your Skool community and looking. I just want to say, I'm more drawn from the stuff that I do to the video, like a rock star.
There's a lot of background noise coming from somebody, by the way. I don't know who it is.
It's probably me.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Barb.
Yes, I learned my lesson in Spaces, right, to mute myself. Because I get excited to encourage people and then I end up.
Well, I'm such a nice person. I don't want to just start muting people to fit.
Right.
Like, I'm just like, well, let me just interrupt for a moment and
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's worth it. And for anybody listening or watching right now too, remember, you want people to correct you or tell you if your mic isn't working properly or something's in the background. I want someone to tell me.
I'm not afraid to speak up. I've been live streaming. I love how my old Facebook memories and like I started live streaming in 2010. And Ustream was a cool way to do it, but the technology wasn't great yet. But it was just so cool. And I just love live streaming. But you're gonna run into issues. You're gonna run into audio issues or video issues or something. And it's okay to speak up and if there's any problems, like try to get it corrected and move on. But it's not a big deal and it's nothing personal.
Absolutely. A quick question. I'm on StreamYard. I'm on my iPhone device right now. I put a picture in there because last time I came in last minute like this, there was nothing there. There are no emojis on the screen in StreamYard, right? Because while you were speaking right there, I wanted to give you a thumbs up, and I'm like, I can't find it. And I have to say, for those video stuff that you do, those emojis, sometimes those do encourage the speaker. At least they know someone's hearing them, right? So tell me, in StreamYard, am I just missing? Is there an emoji thing?
There is not. You have to be on whatever platform.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're watching it on. When you're backstage, there's no emojis, but if you were watching on Facebook or some of those, they might
YouTube,
let you
yeah.
punch the little emoji thing.
Right. And I was just curious because that's funny when we hop around different platforms, we get used to different tools. So,
Right.
Right. And
yeah.
on StreamYard, if you're on a Mac, and your OS has to be, as certain, it can't be like a really old one. You can do like some different, and it'll still do that, right, Jim? Like there's some of
Yes.
these, or you do like a heart. It's not
Right.
doing it for me today. It's not liking me today. So all good, all good. We'll move on because I got I got lots of things to talk about with y'all today. So, but speaking of Skool, and Maria, thank you for just being such a great supporter in our community here, and bringing up Skool. And then you started your own school, which I love that you did that. But we do have a place where we can continue the discussions outside of this 1 hour weekly chat. So it's over at skool.com. And I will put the link up on the screen. I do have a quick and easy shortcut link that'll get you there. You just go to bit.ly/Madalyn Sklar, or you just go into skool.com and search for AI shortcuts or AI shortcuts to work smarter. There's a lot of AI communities in Skool now. Have y'all noticed?
It's everywhere.
It's a lot of them. But yeah, I started the Skool community a couple of years ago. Just so that we have a place where we can share and collaborate and talk about things related to AI. It actually started off as social media shortcuts, and then I pivoted to social media and AI shortcuts because I just love talking about AI stuff, and I'm always coming across cool AI stuff. And then I just got to the point where I felt like every week here, where it was mostly just AI talk, and I just don't feel like even though I've been teaching social media for over 20 years, I really like spending a lot of time and effort with the whole AI thing because I just find it all so incredibly interesting, and I'm always learning things. And I just want to share it with everybody. Like, y'all, check out what I learned today. And, so I just love having a home for us on Skool where we can, keep these discussions going. So, and Maria, how are you enjoying having your own Skool community? How's that been going? If you're able to talk. I really love what she's been doing. And Maria is big with having her own communities and utilizing Facebook groups, and really big with using what was Twitter Spaces, now X Spaces. But things change, and people are just not. A lot of us just don't feel the same about Facebook groups like we used to. Meta is not the same. And then X Spaces, I still love Spaces, and I was one of the early beta testers, but
well, and they keep adding, and I know you're going to talk about maybe the subscriptions, but they added forums.
Right. It's forums.
And so that's a way to look at just your group stuff. But if you, and I don't know if it's fixed yet, because I did a test where I posted a comment in a forum group and it delayed showing up in the group on Facebook. So it wasn't instantaneous. And then I guess Mari just talked about Instance, which is kind of like a new Instagram app, Snapchat-like feature where you want you to post stuff raw and then it disappears in 24 hours, I guess. It's like, and then right now we have, like you mentioned earlier, this whole subscription model, not only for accounts, but also for AI on Meta platforms. So, I part of me wonders if they're doing some of these things because they're trying to get more revenue to pay for their AI.
Yes, I believe that's the case.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll succeed. That'll be interesting. I mean, because I just finally and I've seen some difference with it. I'm on the 30-day trial of the Meta Verified because I wanted to see if it'll help my account with some things I'm doing, and even from a protection standpoint because of all the scams that are going on with emails from Facebook. You think it's them, and then you click it and you lose your account.
Right.
So, but I don't know if I would do the subscriptions. I mean, what do you think of it, Madalyn?
So I'm sorry, I'm was checking
yeah.
my other screen. So which
Yeah.
subscription are you talking about?
The new Facebook rollout of these subscriptions for both AI and
I have that for us to talk about later.
okay.
If we have time, but I mean, we can. I don't want to spend. I got other stuff that I want to go over.
Yeah.
But we can definitely talk about that, especially because they mentioned they're going to include AI plans. But if
Yes.
y'all want to go over that right now, we can just start with that. I just don't want to spend
no.
a ton of time on it, but it does seem interesting, for sure.
Yeah. No,
So-
no, whatever. I mean, I knew you were going to talk about it. I just whatever.
Yeah, I got some
Whatever.
cool stuff to show. Barb, we're
Yeah.
still. I mean, it's just like this. I don't know. I guess because you're using a different microphone, right? So that you can do your avatar. Because it's definitely different than
No, it's me. I'm sorry. I just, I'm sorry. That's all I can
It's
say.
like TV.
I just
Wilderness.
noticed it, and thanks for speaking out. I'm surprised it wasn't Maria telling me that.
Well, she's on her
Anyway,
phone. I mean, when you have headphones on like this, it's. I mean, if you don't have headphones on, you probably don't notice.
Oh, I definitely notice it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got headphones on too. I mean, yours are small, but yeah.
Right.
Now, if you're just on your phone, it wouldn't be like that. All right. I want to go over some really interesting things that I've been watching and playing with. Now, I don't know anybody here using Magi at all, or have, or not as much, or
We just upgraded to 3 and we had some issues.
Okay. Yeah. See, I was on their beta with the version 3 quite some time ago, but it was, you could go ahead and use it, but you're basically starting fresh. You still have your previous data still on the original. So I did that because I wanted to just play and just start fresh and new. But now I know they did a slow migration for everybody. They've been doing it for months. And then I guess as of, I think it was Monday, they decided to just finish it all. And so my thing popped up that said it was migrating over. Not everything is there, but I also use my ChatGPT natively more often than that. So it's not an issue for me. I used to use it very regularly until OpenAI started that advanced voice audio feature about 1.5 years ago. And that just, I'm like, I got to pay $20 a month because I want that one feature. And then it just caused me to use it more and more. I still pay for Magi and I use it from time to time. But with all these new upgrades with version 3, it's like, I need to spend more time here. I want to use this more because it's so good, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, that was the issue we ran into. And I know Chris had reached out to customer support to see if they can, because I know even more so than me, he's built a lot of, you want to call it processes, processes in Magi. So I think it's like you said, I think we had to migrate. It was like we were holding off.
Yeah. I know that they did, like, it was something about that everybody was getting migrated over. I know I had taken a screenshot. I can't find it, but there was when it popped up, maybe it was on my phone. It did pop up and say that it was something about that. I guess like they knew they were having some issues, and that if all of your data didn't port over, that they were working on it, like they were aware. I don't know where. I know I took a screenshot of it somewhere, but it's not like a big deal to me at the moment. So I'm not really. They got their hands full, but what I wanted to show y'all today is that Dustin made a big announcement yesterday over on X. Let me show you that as of yesterday, Magi now connects to over 130 apps.
Wow.
So they got he had the connectors. I'm going to play this little short video. He had the connectors on. He's had some, like you could add things like your Google stuff, your Google Calendar, Gmail. Let's see what else was in there. The Slack was. I remember there was like a handful of them. Well, now he's got like everything. So let me show y'all real quick with this video because it's quite interesting, and I want y'all just to be aware of what it can do. All right, so of course I had to go play with this and see all the different things I could do with that. I mean, I've been a customer of Magi since Dustin started it, which is like been over 3 years now. And it's a phenomenal tool. I mean, I definitely recommend this for anybody that's looking for, like, if you're using Claude, you're using ChatGPT, that's great. But if you want something that's an all-in-one, that's what this is, where you have everything. I pay $20 a month. I have everything. The reason why I also pay $20 a month for ChatGPT is because there's some features natively. So for those that aren't as techie, what that means is there are some features inside of ChatGPT that when I go, chatgpt.com, there's some features that are only there. Like it's not going to be something that Magi can do a lot of things, but like some of those features, so it's like this give and take. I like just having both. I like to have both of both, the best of both worlds.
I think it's reasonable to your point. I mean, I, as an example, because I have a Google Workspace account, have access to a lot of the Gemini features. And so it's just as easy for me to use it in Gemini instead of going into Magi. It's like, well, I don't quite get everything. So it's the same thing, right? And I have the paid version of Chat as well because of, like you said, some of those extra features that you get by having it. And just sometimes it's right. It's just easier to do it that quick, especially if you're doing it on mobile. But I think Magi probably keeps you from like, oh, now I got to go buy this imaging app or this app or this app. And I like that part where it's like, especially for the imaging stuff.
Well, and Dustin will update it like every time there's something new, like the latest ChatGPT 5.5. He has it almost immediately. And then when there's a new image generator, like when Nano Banana upgraded, Nano Banana 2 or the Pro, and then when ChatGPT Images 2.0, like he'll have it either the same day that company launches it on their site or the next day. And the thing is, you're still using those tools. I want to make sure people understand how this works because it's so interesting. You're using all the tools, but you look at Magi is like the vehicle, and all these other things are under the hood. I know he sometimes throws out the analogy like that, and it makes perfect sense. So he's providing this place. And so when I'm doing, and I'm going to show you all a demo, when I'm doing like a chat, and let's say I do ChatGPT, then when it's thinking, it's taking what I'm asking and is going to ChatGPT server, getting the info, and then bringing it over to Magi. And Magi to me is just a nicer interface. I love how you can organize with folders. He had that whole folders thing very early on, way before ChatGPT or Claude or any of them had a way to organize. That was one of the big reasons why I started using that. Because ChatGPT was just, you couldn't organize your stuff in those early days. And it was just so nice. And Dustin's always thinking how to make this so great so that people can get a good use of their time in there. And with this new version 3, he took out all the clutter. And it's a little different because before you would log in and there's so much to look at. And now it's like so much more simplified, but you can still get all the tools and features. It's just it's such a great tool. And I'm trying to spend more time in it. I rely on ChatGPT natively so much. And I'm just trying, but now that you can connect all these apps into it, it's like, well, this kind of changes it a bit. It's like, this, you can You can do that with a lot. Like I know ChatGPT, you can do that. Claude. I mean, have any of y'all done those connectors where you can add that and it works with it?
I have not yet. I think I'm still leery sometimes of connecting things to.
I know, and I have too. Like especially like the Google stuff. Like, oh my gosh, when you hear people talk about connecting your Gmail, connecting your Google Calendar, and then so like it can just it has everything and you can really increase your productivity. But then it's like, okay, is it safe? Should I? But they've had this on ChatGPT and Claude for a while, and I haven't heard anything super negative about it. But also, I also look at the mindset of, I think our stuff is so out there, like I'm sure it's being accessed in ways we will never know. So is it truly private? Now, one thing with privacy, I will say that I love about Magi, and Dustin was on this live stream talking about it. I want to say it was a while back, probably about a year and a half ago, that privacy is so important to him that with Magi, even though it's, going back and forth between you and Magi and what the information you're trying to get from whichever, this is like Grok and Claude and Gemini, ChatGPT. When the information comes back over, like none of this is saved, and they're not utilizing anything. Like with ChatGPT, they have it defaulted on that they want to train off of your data. If you want that turned off, you need. And for those that have not ever done this, if you have ChatGPT, go log into your ChatGPT, go into the settings, and go find the place where, like, under the privacy section, go do it for Claude, Gemini, all of them. They all have them defaulted on. So if you don't want your data being trained on their models for them to use so I have them all turned off. And Dustin's been on here talking about it. He's talked about it multiple times, but with Magi, none of the stuff is privacy is a big deal, and I love that.
Oh yeah,
I think it's incredibly important. I just want to show y'all like what I've been playing with Magi on this, just so y'all know, because having these features I think is so cool. So when I say this new version 3 has very little clutter now, this is what I mean. When you log into your account, this is it. It's a little different, but also it's just nice not having so much clutter. You can still like open things up to your your chats, your media and things. But what's so cool is that I can just pick what I want to use to start a chat. Like you have so many choices. Now, this is separate from the thing that was just announced with the 130, new app connections. This is just, if I want to come in and start a chat, then, I pick the model I want. The AI model right now is set for ChatGPT 5.5. You also can choose your persona. I usually just keep it at assistant, but you can come in and there's so many that are pre-made. You can make your own. And then with this new feature, with all these new connections, you go to attach and you go into integrations. And these are the ones I added yesterday: Canva, LinkedIn, Reddit, and Trello. But you come into this is what he was showing on that video. I mean, look at how many are in here. So I haven't spent enough time in this part yet to know, like, okay, what could I have it do for me? I did play around with something yesterday where I connected Reddit and I had it go and retrieve some very specific things. It created a prompt. And there's a way to save your prompts. So that way, if I want to run that again, it's easy to do. But it was pretty thorough I gave it some things to go look for on Reddit. And it did a great job of it just by connecting it to my Reddit account.
Interesting.
So, but because I haven't really spent a whole lot of time playing with how to get the best out of those features, what I want to show, I'm not ready to like do a demo because I need to spend a little more time playing with that part, which hopefully I'll have better use cases of that for next week. But since a lot of people are not familiar with this tool, I just want to show you why I like this tool so much. Just the fact that I can be on here right now and I can choose, which of these models I can change them up. So I was going to show this demo. I'm going to put a prompt I went and made earlier. It's give me your most controversial but defensible opinion and social media about social media and productivity. And I'm going to start it. Yeah, actually, I'm going to start with Claude. I also like that you do the little star and favorite the ones you use the most, so that way you don't have to go searching for it. So I'm going to start with Claude Sonnet 4.6, and I'm just going to keep my generic assistant persona. So I'm just going to click this, and while it's thinking, it's right now going to Claude with my prompt. Oh, that was pretty quick. So it's going to give me, the answer here. And what's so interesting is that when you're changing up, like which one of these, like we start with Claude, right? I am going to take that same prompt and we're going to put it into Grok. Now, all I have to do is just come right in here and let me go get Grok. I'll do the, I guess 4.3. It's probably the most current. Okay, so just switch down here to Grok 4.3. I'm going to put in that same prompt, hit send. And now it's going over to get that from Grok. Same prompt, but we're going to get a totally different thought and perspective because they're all so different. And this is such a fun and interesting way to experiment with different AI models to see, when I was first, utilizing Magi in the early days, it was ChatGPT, then they added Claude. And Claude was new, and a lot of us didn't know much about Claude, right? So I would be in Magi here, and I would just try both. And over time, I'm like, ooh, I like how Claude writes. I actually like this better. And then let's go now take this and put in ChatGPT 5.5. So we've done Claude, we've done Grok. Now we're going to do ChatGPT. And we're just going to get different answers, different styles, different everything. But do you see how easy this is? Without a tool like this, you're having to go into each of those one at a time. Go into your Claude, go into your ChatGPT, go into Grok. And the beauty is I can do this all in one place. So that's just a simple, easy demo. I wanted to show y'all, like, this is why I love this tool so much, or these features.
So are you going to take some of the graphics you create and put them into Canva? Is that the idea?
Well, so my understanding is that because I have my Canva connected, if I'm working up an idea for an image, although I can do images in here, right? Because look, we got ChatGPT images, and I can click on that. Let's say I want it to create an image for me of this. So I've got the GPT image. You'll see that down at the bottom, GPT image, right? But it goes a step further. You click over, you got the options, and here's the ratio. So I probably want a 16:9. You got low, medium, and high. Dustin has done a demo recently showing like doing a single prompt and doing one with the low, one with the medium, and one with the high. And they're all different. It's wild. But also you see it's kind of faint on here, but it's going to show you, like, because, all these tools use like a token system. And so the thing is, if I do the high, they do it with these multipliers. I'm going to be utilizing 3.3 times, versus a 0.9 or a 0.2. So if I just go with low, I can do a lot more without, going through the credits, but I'd probably just do medium. And then version 2 or version 1, there's 3 different versions of ChatGPT's image model. Version 1, 1.5, and now the version 2. The version 2 is phenomenal. So I mean, I get all these options like the ratio size, if I want a low, medium, or high, and then which version. Now, if you go crazy with it, then yeah, I mean, you're going to use up, but they're all like that. ChatGPT, like I'm on a paid, $20 a month ChatGPT. I've never gone over, have y'all ever gone over when y'all are using?
I have not
on a paid account because
on ChatGPT Plus. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Have we gone over on that? I know, and I've never known that you can, but I use it every single day heavily. So
Yeah,
that's weird.
you know, the thing, here's the thing, is that they don't tell you, like, if you do this much, we're cutting you off. Because like when that whole voice mode came out, the advanced voice mode on ChatGPT, and that's what got me to pay $20 a month to OpenAI. And I would ask it like, okay, how many minutes do I get to do this audio? Where you just talking to it? You know, I get my phone or computer and just talk, press the button. I'm like, hey, chat, I got some ideas to brainstorm with you. I do this all the time. That's why I still pay $20 a month, because it is my brainstorming partner. If anything, that's like the number one thing I do with it. And it would never give me a real answer. I've gone to OpenAI's help area. They don't give you a specific on the free or the paid. I would ask chat itself, couldn't give me a straight answer. So you have to just, it'll let you know, basically. So one time I was doing the audio, with the $20 a month plan. I'm talking to it. I'm out walking my dog. I'm having a brainstorm idea. I'm talking to it, get back home, still talking to it. I talked to it for close to an hour, nonstop. Then eventually what it did is stopped me and said, you can still chat. You just had to stop the voice part when you're talking to it like a person. I have to wait till tomorrow. I'm like, well, if that's the worst, fine. I'll just use WhisperFlow, because WhisperFlow, I'm still talking. I press the button and I just talk. But I like talking like the chat's hearing me and I'm hearing them, like a person back and forth exchange. I just love that. And it helps me be more productive.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's a feature you can't really utilize. I mean, Magi has like an audio feature. It's not quite the same as it is natively over there. But you'll see like how an all-in-one tool, and there's some other tools out there too that I believe are all-in-one. I've never tried any others. I love Magi. And they were the first one I know of that was on the market years back. But it's just, I want to make sure people know there are options, that if you're looking to be able to do more and not be limited to just one, especially with this back and forth between ChatGPT versus Claude, right? It's just, and people are like going back and forth. And it's funny how many people have come back to ChatGPT again after doing the whole Claude thing. But
I wonder if it's with that too. It seems like it has to do with the tokens, and I think people get so crazy doing some of this stuff, but then like I follow this guy on Substack that shows you like, look, here's the things you do in advance, so that when you go in there, you're not using up all these tokens, right? So some of it is about working smarter, not harder, I guess.
Smarter, not harder. Exactly.
Even though that's what AI is supposed to be helping us do, it's it doesn't do you any good if you're blowing through your token caps and spending all this money and then getting frustrated. So, but yeah, it is funny, right? People keep going back and forth between Claude, ChatGPT. I mean, even and I know you've been doing ChatGPT, but like even Gemini now has a live that you can talk to.
A lot. It's amazing to watch this progression. I mean, it's almost like neck breaking, because it's like watching a tennis match, back and forth. And it's like, oh my gosh, but it's to our benefit, because, the end result is that we got all these amazing tools in front of us. And if you are a small business or solopreneur, this is so helpful for productivity. I love ChatGPT as my brainstorm partner. I mean, I literally talk to it multiple times a day, every day, when I think about it, because I'm an idea person. I've been that way for 30 years since I've been a digital entrepreneur. And it helps me work through some of these ideas I get. Whereas before, it's like you had a mastermind group or this business partner or, something where you got all these other people to help you bounce off ideas, whereas you got a 24/7 in your pocket. And it's only $20 a month. So I really love that as a small business. You know what? I do have an image prompt. Let me go back in, because I want to see what it does with Canva, because my understanding is that I can work on a prompt, work on an image idea, and then it can go take it to Canva. So let me see. I have a, I'm going to ask it if it can, because of course I can do, let me first start with, I'm going to put the prompt in, and I'm going to do, let's do Nano Banana first, and then we'll do GPT images, and then we'll see what it does with Canva. So I'm going to keep it at version 2, 1K resolution. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to have it go and create this image for me. So this is Gemini's, also known as Google Nano Banana, which was all the rage not that long ago because it was far better at creating images than ChatGPT. But now ChatGPT Images 2.0 is way better. Oh, that was quick. That's an interesting image. Okay, so that's what it came up with there. Now I'm going to put the same prompt in, and I'm going to do GPT image. I already have it up here at the top. GPT image. Let's see. I'm going to keep the ratio. I'm going to keep it at low quality because it's just for a demo. I'm going to keep it at the version 2, and let's see what it comes up with. This should be interesting. But you're going to get different things because these are completely different image generators. And there's also on Magi video generators as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just so many things on there. And we're not even doing the connectors yet, but we're going to try that next with my Canva connected to this. And we'll see. But I'm really impressed with GPT images. I can't get over how, when I do thumbnails for all my stuff, I use it. I like that. This was okay to me, right? Nano Banana version 2. But this one looks way cooler to me. What do y'all think?
Well, they're definitely different.
They're definitely different for sure.
I guess it kind of depends on what you're trying to get out of the final result. Like I would probably adjust both of them. Update it.
And it's real easy to do that I like this one a lot. So let's say I wanted to make adjustments. So right underneath here, this menu, and this goes back to, again, Dustin rebuilt this from the ground up for this version 3 of Magi and made it so much less cluttered. And what I like is that it's so clean, so easy to look at on the screen here. And then you just put your mouse underneath it. And then, here comes, the things that pop up, and you want to go into the edit. So if I want to change anything, I hit the edit button. So see how it brought it back in there to go edit. And then I can just say, what should we ask it to edit?
Maybe take out the text.
Yeah. That's not going to always be perfect. These things are not perfect, but I tell you, they're way better than they used to be. Think back to like a year ago doing these images in Nano Banana and ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. Nothing like it is today. Oh my God. It's like day and night. It's just impressive. And the speed is so much quicker too. It is doing it so much quicker on these platforms. It used to be slow. When Nano Banana first came out, it was faster than ChatGPT, but ChatGPT, was not this quick. And it's nice seeing how quick it is. Oh, yeah, that does look better. Look how cool that is. That is a really neat image. I like this. And you got the option, look, I can crop, I can upscale, remove background, download. Let's see what I like the background, but let's see what happens with a one-click remove background. It should be interesting. It's so clear. Oh, it's so clear and sharp on the screen.
What's funny is it took out the shields that like the one was holding.
Yeah. So will it let me? Okay. So it kept the original, which I wanted. Okay. Because I don't really like that. But yeah, I see what it did. But let's say, okay, that's not what I wanted. I just go back to this and I hit the edit.
Right.
because we're going to keep working with this one. So, and then, and then let's say I want to change it to, medium or high. So I get it like an even better, higher res. Let's see if it changes it. I wonder if I want to know what will it do, like if I go from low to medium. I don't really want to do anything. I just want to see, is it going to be sharper or is it going to change? I know that when Destin did a demo of giving it one prompt and like doing what we just did, but on the low, then then on a whole nother chat, doing the same thing, but then the medium, and the same thing, but then on high. And it's the same prompt, but they're still all uniquely different, the output. And it was really cool. I'm just curious. Like, I'm just going to see what it does. If all I did, I'm not going to give a prompt. It's got this image because I like it. I'm just going to switch to medium. Will it let me?
It looks like it wants
you.
You
got to type. You got to type.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got to type. Okay. What should we have it do? Should we have it make it moodier? Make it moodier. How do you spell moodier? Moodier is not even really a word, is it? Make it more moody. I'll say make it more moody. But all I'm doing, y'all, is changing from the quality from low to medium. I'm just curious what will it do. But this just goes back to why I like this tool so much, because you can do all these different things with it. And like, let's say I want to go back to Nano Banana or some other image generator. I don't have to leave and go somewhere else to do that.
Right.
Which I like. And then after this, let's see what it does with because I have Canva added as a connector, which is the new feature. Now it is letting me know, heads up, the selected model consumes monthly usage faster than most, because that's the thing. You can burn through all this pretty quick. Now, with most of these tools, if you go through your usage before the month is up, you either wait for the reset whenever, whether it's a few days or a week or however long until it resets, or many times you can pay to like top it off. Like you can add more credits or whatever. ChatGPT used to not do that, but do y'all remember that? They used to have it so that if you used up all your usage, you had to wait.
Yes. Made it darker.
Well, it made it a lot darker. I don't like that, but
yeah.
But I wonder, is it any sharper? Like just going from low to medium, I would have to like download them both and put them side by side, I guess, to see. I see the low looks fine to me, which means it's less usage, which means I can get more out of this. It just shows you that sometimes less is more. Because it doesn't seem like the details are any better.
This kind of detail, we've got 10 minutes left for this episode, and getting this into this minutia is quite a bit in this short time frame that we have. I'm finding it very difficult to follow.
Well, I'm just trying to do a little live demo experimenting with it. Let me just real quickly see what happens when I have it go to my Canva. Not quite sure how these integrations. I have it turned on. Oh, I think you have to, I don't know. See, I got to play with that to figure out like how, because I haven't done enough. This integration thing is new, where they have like 130, things you can connect it to of yours, where it logs into your whatever it is you're giving it. And so that's what I was playing with yesterday, was actually going in and adding Canva and Reddit and LinkedIn and a few others, because, it's interesting to see, okay, this is like next level. What can we do with that now? And will this be a time saver? Is this helpful? So I just want to see where that goes. But because I haven't spent time experimenting with that, the most I did was just having it retrieve stuff off of Reddit from my account without having to go. Like the beauty was with that, and this is where I can see these integrations are really helpful, especially when y'all are, we're all so similar. Like we do a lot of, looking at all these different things and researching and going to this, going to that. This cuts out some steps. So if I can sit here and work within Magi and figure out like the right kind of image I want to create, but let's say I don't like how it's coming out on GPT or Nano Banana. It's like, well, my Canva is connected. Let's see what Canva does. And it's already logged into my account. So before, when ChatGPT was doing a crappy job of YouTube thumbnails for me, I would work up the ideas there and then go take everything and go log into my Canva and then go work on Canva. And it's like, well, wait a minute. If I can just cut out those steps, and you're not leaving. That's what I think is going to be interesting. So I'm going to be, kind of learning some ins and outs. What I wanted to show today is just the fact what I showed, that you can just go from chat to chat, image to image, all different things in one place.
But I guess too, though, Madalyn, it's interesting with the integrations. But on the other hand, when you can get, if you want to call it what you want as your final product inside of, say, Magi or whatever, why do I need Canva?
Well, exactly. And the thing is, I'm really like trying to figure out, do I need Canva anymore? I have a pro account. I honestly hardly ever use it anymore. I use ChatGPT images because before that it was Nano Banana, right? But Canva comes in handy from time to time with little things that ChatGPT doesn't get right.
Well, and it's interesting because I've started to play around with edits because it's a free app, right, from Instagram, Meta, whatever you want to call it. And so it'll allow you to build things, right? You can add, so it's like I can take multiple images and now make those into a video, just like you would do with Canva. Like you could take multiple images and make them into a video in Canva. But it's like, do I need to do that when I can create that in a tool like Edits? Because there was even, and I don't know that we have, but just to touch on real quick, I don't know if you were going to hit on this. I just heard about YouTube using AI to create clips. So now do you need Opus? Because if
right.
so now there's that whole thing of, and I'm using the alpha version now of Agora Pulse is working on a tool. I think his name is Albert, that will integrate AI into Agora Pulse. So they're all working to come up with ways to keep themselves relevant. And and even how many people start talking about like, well, why do I need Adobe anymore? Kind of like, and it's like, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's a
race.
Wonder.
It's a race.
Yeah.
It's the AI race. But yeah, I mean, some tools are going to become irrelevant to us. And what I want to figure out with what Magi has done, do I need to pay for Canva anymore? Or because everything I'm doing ChatGPT and images is far better, far superior than what I've had before. And so like I said, I'm rarely using Canva. I use it occasionally for little tweaks and things that ChatGPT just can't get right. But it's not that common. But now the flip side of all that is, but what can I do in Magi with this Canva integration that would make it still worth it? Because if I can now just stay in there, do my thing, and then just hit the button for Canva, and I don't have to leave and go log into Canva over here and then come back and forth, that could be really helpful. And I want to try that with other, like I said, so far I just connected just a few tools, but to know that you have 130 you can integrate.
Right.
But also ChatGPT and Claude, you can integrate some tools. Not as many. I don't think they have that many like that. But, Tony says a graphic designer in my group got mad and asked why I didn't pay for a local designer. I feel bad that the advances in AI like this are going to affect graphic designers. So back in the day, I was one of the first web designers in my city in the mid-90s. And I am not very good with graphic design, but I was good at coding and doing the techie stuff. I always had to hire graphic designers for all of that stuff, and which is fine. But you know what always wowed me was the web designer who was also a graphic designer, and they could do it all. And I'd be like, man, I wish I could do it all, because the way they can design visually with their art, but also have the skills to do the tech part and the code. But even though we're talking like going back 30 years. I love that with AI, it's like, oh my gosh, I can incorporate that one part of my wheelhouse that I just was never proficient at, that I could never quite grasp. I can't just create some of the amazing things that graphic designers do. But now I have this tool that helps me tremendously.
Well, and I think too, I mean, and trust me, I think we all empathize with these jobs that are getting challenged, but you could also make the argument like, well, I need this graphic quickly and I want to keep going back and forth and I don't want to pay, you're going to pay probably at least, and I'm just guessing, right, $100 to get a set of graphics when I can do it in literally minutes to where it's good enough, right? So I mean, I think there's still reasons for graphic designers. I mean, obviously if people are doing stuff like, especially like signs and murals and things like that, they're going to want someone that can produce something on a larger scale. But I think for some of this stuff that's going on the internet, I could see where that's changing things. And so you just have to figure out, what makes sense. I mean, because even look how many people are using AI headshots, right? And so I know some people that are quote unquote headshot photographers, and you start to say, well, I can take a picture of myself and make it look really good, and I don't have to go somewhere, and I don't have to get dressed up, and I can even have it change my hairstyle. Does that make us bad people?
No, I mean, you're making such great points here. It is such a time saver so much with that. But also when you're in whatever industry, things change, and especially anything technology related, and you have to pivot. If you don't pivot, you'll become irrelevant. When I started out as a web designer, there were no tools. Okay. You actually wrote code off the top of your head in Notepad. That's how all of us, early adopters, that's how we did it. When Microsoft Front Page came out, all of a sudden everybody became a web designer, right? And it was, it used terrible code. I could always spot those sites a mile away. But you have to, as needed, pivot or adjust or do things, because over time there became all these tools that made so much of what I did irrelevant, And so, I mean, I totally understand, and it's like multiple sides to this, but we're definitely in different times. Times.
Yeah.
For sure. Real quick, as we wrap up, is this article that Barb brought to our attention over in Skool about Meta launching Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp subscriptions, with more to come, including AI plans. So what do you know about this, Barb? Because it sure sounds intriguing.
Well, I don't want to go into deep. I mean, it's noon now, and I don't want to go into a deep dive on the topic because it's hot at the moment. People are hot, and I'm hottest because the way that TechCrunch has reported that there is no official news release from Meta on this thing currently.
Really?
And so that scares me. And that's when I first got the wind of it, was a member of Mari Smith's Facebook group. And early on, and I said, I knew because there were opportunities I had to test the forums and do some other stuff with that. And I just couldn't believe that it was, because I trust TechCrunch. I have for years, followed them and relied on their research and that. So I was very surprised. And as I dug into it, I mean, the mental exercises I had to go through, because, you and I both, Madalyn, we were there way back when. And of course, Texas played a big role in my life's business story in web development and so forth. But me being tied to the ballooning community that's multi-generational, we have really young people to really old people in that same thing. And it's a question of, will people actually pay for it? Now, you and I, just like you said, well, I'm going to do Magi because I can do these extra things. And, oh, I'm going to do ChatGPT too. And we're following that because we learned how to be productive using those tools early on. But it has reached a point where if there are things happening in the United States and our government here that's impacting what Meta is doing. And it's a real scary time. And I think it's time to take an audit of because we all went to school because we said, this is not happening. We're not getting what we need on Facebook for our communities. And that's how you and I it was all about connecting the people with people.
Right.
And that is that's why we got there. And I look at that whole thing on our story of how it all came together. But I think that every one of us, whatever your audience is, you have a voice and you're sharing that voice and the knowledge with your audience. You've got to do some research at this point in time, because as you can see, they can flip it overnight. And this is, to me, and I actually responded to the person who originally shared it. I said, it's dangerous because there is no supporting news release on it. And you're sent over to Instagram to listen to what the product developer said. So that to me is not a wise way. I mean, it is a publicly traded company, and all of these things coming down. So,
Barb, do you think some of this, though, too? I mean, because Meta's one of those companies that's laid off a bunch of people recently.
Right.
So are they getting, if you want to call it, their wiring diagram is messed up and they're not necessarily having the left hand and the right hand talking to each other? And
they're right, because they're trying to train their AI, except that we all know in experiencing their AI to date that they're not putting the time and training into it to begin with. And now they've reduced the stuff and said, hey, we're going to embrace it. We'll do it all. We're just going to throw everybody out now. And we're going to train the people we have. It takes time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's a scary time, and it was a scary post, but it is a wake-up call to all of us, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Mari sent out an email that I just got a little bit ago talking about all this too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's talking about the forum app and the Meta subscription plans.
Right.
But you're right. It's kind of like it kind of goes back to, there's so many things going on, right? Because then it's like, well, all this stuff going on with Gemini and with what Google's doing with search, mm-hmm. and how that's going to impact people. And so then you start to like, well, it almost becomes too many choices.
Right. And
how do I make a decision?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you said that about, Google's a big fish in there. Because I am through the Chrome browser, I'm here today, and right beside me is Ask Gemini, right? And so it was sensing us talking in here. And so I said, wow. Well, I suspected it was sensing because it was doing weird stuff. It was asking me about Madalyn and about Jim, and I'm going, what? So I said, can you see it? And, oh, yes, it could see it. And I said, well, can you hear it? Well, not how you have it set up, but, and so that's what I'm saying is there's no privacy. There's, and then it's a question, well, who owns that content? And the lawyers will have another field day. But I think we are the human beings in this picture, and we can just turn it off.
Right.
And if there is, so my feeling was, well, here, Barb, you were blessed to be, in your network, you have 4 generations of people overall. I'm not saying that 4th generation can understand me, but that many generations involved. And I know that I had to pay for my child much longer than my mother had to pay for me. You know what I'm saying? That them accepting responsibility didn't come as fast. And what is happening to the parenting issue of people today, because they're going to say, no, you can't use Facebook. No, you can't use Instagram, so forth and so on. And I only bring that up because there's litigation on it, ongoing litigation right now. And you have to understand that Meta's a publicly held company. So I empathize with them because every move they make is under scrutiny. And so I couldn't believe that was released without without an official news release. But then I also noticed that after I posted it, Mike Stelzner had posted on Social Media Examiner as well. So, I mean, it is a wake-up call for all of us. But I thought about Skool because, we got all excited because we had the $99 a month, and then they said, oh no, let's all get on there. We'll switch it to $9 a month so everybody can be there. Well, we didn't mind paying the $9 a month. It came with all kinds of bells and whistles to help develop communities. And one of the main reasons that communities get together is we want to learn from each other. And that at any age, because whether you're just getting started or whether you're about to wrap up your life, you have experiences that are valuable to other people. And so we have those tools very much that you, all three of us, have worked together on various product development projects that, we needed to have to keep our communities happy and safe. And safety, of course, is an even bigger factor these days. Because now the federal government, if you look on my profile today, the same thing in the same time frame, and this little old lady back here going berserk, I've got the federal government saying, sign our email list. Uncle Sam's going to teach me AI. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That is the scariest post I've seen today. So we just meet back in school and huddle and figure out how we're going to handle this. But we got to do something, because what'll happen, it says in the reporting from TechCrunch, it's rolling out. So that means it's not all today, but it's as, they are playing it out. And I believe that that gal put that out there for a shock factor. But I'm not sure what her history with that company is, because
she's been there. I just
time.
Looked.
Has she?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Great.
She's so Sarah Perez has been their tech writer for a long time. So she's always been credible. But also when
No, I didn't mean that. I meant the gal from Meta that leaked the information.
Oh, okay. Because the reporter on this, you were originally talking about at the start of this about being surprised that TechCrunch reported this. Yeah.
Well, I trust TechCrunch is good for researching stuff. I've always been able to depend on them. And so I think that they wrote the facts. I went down and scrutinized it, and I said, well, it's not them. They didn't make it flowery and, all of that. It's just, they reported the facts. And then it's like, I was sent over to Instagram because they did provide their source. That's what you should do. And I saw and I was just, oh my.
Yeah.
It's definitely wake up time.
Right. Well, thanks for bringing that to our attention. And you originally put it in our school group over at AI Shortcuts. So thanks for alerting us.
Yeah.
Because people need to be aware that this is happening. I'm just a fan of Skool versus Facebook when it comes to community.
Well, you own it, Madalyn. That's the biggest
difference. Yeah, you own it. It is worth it for me. I got the link on the screen if people here are not familiar, on Skool, skool.com. We have our own private community for this, AI Shortcuts, is that people are gravitating to platforms like Skool because I can have my community be free for everybody if I want, or I could charge a fee for membership. But the bottom line is I'm paying to host it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm paying for it, I get to dictate the rules.
Exactly.
Not the tech bros and the tech companies, doing the rules. And so I've got 3 different Skool communities, but I like that they finally have multiple tiers now, so it doesn't have to be so pricey, because it used to be just $99 a month, and I still pay that for one of my communities. But on my other 2, I'm just doing the $9 a month plan. And you're able to do this, whatever works and fits for you, but you have that satisfaction of like, I'm the one that controls this. And to me, it's worth paying for.
And you can actually sell that. You cannot do that legally as a Facebook group that is your community.
Right.
You look at the terms of service, and that is not something you can legally do. And so you had to set your infrastructure up differently, where people came in following Mari Smith and what she did. We would send them to a website where they signed up and then got access to that Facebook group. So that was just our forum destination of where we would do that communication. But we owned their email addresses before they ever came in there. And so,
and that was a very common strategy back in the day. So all the different programs I would teach, you charge, you do all that elsewhere, like a Thinkific or wherever, and then you have a Facebook group for the connection part, for the
people part, the community.
Yeah.
And
it was included. You would
exactly
like that's how we all did it back in the day. Like that was part of the membership, is this free, because at the time Facebook groups was it. Like we didn't have a lot of options. When I first started my music community, you're familiar with Barb, back in the 90s, you had bulletin boards. But a lot of people didn't quite get that if they weren't techie, right? But when that it was the e-groups, and I remember I think Yahoo became Yahoo groups.
Mm-hmm.
Started off as like e-groups, and then it became Yahoo groups, and that just became the way of, if you were trying to build a community and connect with people, because all we had were static websites. You put out your info, people see it, they send you an email, if you even have an email on your website. That used to be the extent of how internet sites were.
No, we had email. Don't you remember that? We had Prodigy and CompuServe before that, but the first thing you did on either of those locations is you had to have a way to be connected email. And so I remember long ago in one of my friends named Marcia Yudkin, she's a best-selling author from way back when. That was the thing. She said, in the end, email is still king. And Mari Smith says the same thing.
Always.
And
will be.
The majority of the people in business today still don't know how to use their email efficiently.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yep. Well, it's such a great chat today. Always a lively discussion. And there'll be, I'm sure, between now and next Thursday, there'll be even more for us to discuss. Barb, keep us posted if anything new develops with Meta and all of this, because it'll be interesting to see where that goes and how people are.
I'm curious if they'll leave my post up, quite frankly. I mean, when I saw the Crate and Butterfly, I thought that's another reason to have your community external from there, because they are discriminatory. That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
I mean, they own it. They can afford to be. We saw what happened even, and I'm not a political person, but if they like one thing versus the other, that things got mooted. It's there. It's in the history. You can find it. Yeah. So when you own it, it's your baby. And that's the contract that you have with that provider. And of course, I know Madalyn did this. I did it also, is that I researched who owned it. I researched the money behind it. Are they going to have the infrastructure there? And Barb knows at the very core of everything are those darn data centers. They got to have a place to store it. And where do they get it? Are they leasing that space? Do they own that space? How are they handling that side of the technology? And really, I was a marketing person when I got online. I was a marketing communications person. I knew nothing about technology. But like Madalyn, I had to open up Notepad and start coding, or else I wasn't
Have
going to
to
get
start
anything
somewhere.
done.
You have to start somewhere. That's for sure. Well, always a great chat. Excellent discussion. Thank you all both for joining today and sharing your perspectives on everything. And always look forward to the next one. It's just, but like but you know, I mean, I can't live stream on Facebook right now because I'm in trouble with them for my botanical thing that I advocate for.
Be careful! Don't get me knocked off for that.
I mean, that, you know, it's another reason why I pay for Skool, so I can have a place for a community there to talk about a botanical supplement that's legal in most places around the country, and that has so much misinformation and propaganda that's spewed out about it.
Right.
And Facebook, they've been deleting accounts. Like if you talk about this, their AI now has gone in and is deleting accounts.
That's exactly right. You said it there. Their AI has gone in.
It's their AI.
And so they've because these people are the level I am. They're chosen by Facebook. They're trained by Facebook, and this Facebook power admin program that they have. And these are power admins that are getting these huge million member communities and so forth taken down. And they've, managed to get some of them back up, some of them not so much. It's a real bad time. That's all I can say. And, be careful on what you have, that you always have backup. And boy, am I thankful for that. And you do need a website. You do need to have that destination, because I copy my posts on my private, it's locked down, a private destination, so I can keep up with where I'm at if my computer goes down. And so I have a little edge, but not much. I also grew very old, so now it's at a stage where, who knows what's going to be happening next week. And I love AI.
We all do, that's for sure.
Use it responsibly and it'll work for you. And I know that in working with the spies that I've worked with in my life, they would just love it, because it is amazing when you have the skill, when you're in espionage and so forth, that the way that you search for information and so on. We only had, Google, and we had Yahoo back in the day. Remember when you went to Yahoo to find everything? So now, with the AI tools, in fact, because I'm doing my life story thing when working with the professionals that I have, and it has kept that record, and it actually brings stuff up for me. And so, it's exciting. I don't have time to pass out of this world yet, because I got too much to do.
There you go. Too much to do.
There you go.
Yeah. And you reach a point, you make things public, because who cares? You're not going to be around.
You're so funny, Barb.
Anyway.
Yeah, I need to run. This was always fun, y'all. Thank you. And thanks for those watching us live and anybody watching the replay. And because I can't live stream this on Facebook for a month, because I got in trouble a couple of posts long time ago, and that they found because of AI. So what I did is I did that last week too. I take Barb is live streaming this on her Facebook. So I go to her Facebook and I hit the little share button. So I shared it. So it's on my profile is showing Barb's. So thank you, Barb, for having this on your Facebook. And thank you, Tony, on Facebook, for watching us.
Yep.
We appreciate it. And
great
everybody
points by
else.
Tony.
My friend Venus, who's watching on YouTube. We're broadcasting all over the place. All right, y'all. We will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate it.